Okay, now let's take a look at the wonderful world of Onshape. So before I get started, I thought I'd talk a little bit about the parts libraries that I mentioned before. So here I have just a spreadsheet that has all different standard FRC parts that are commonly used, commonly purchased. I see gearboxes, bearings, etc., etc., etc. So if I click on gearboxes, you kind of see the parts libraries that were developed as this loads. This is kind of like could be a big time saver, so you don't have to uh, import step files. Of course, you can still import step files just the same as you can in SolidWorks, but I think this is a little bit easier. For this, what I'm going to do right now, designing the drivetrain, I am going to import the step files just to show how that works. Okay, here we have all in one place, kind of all the gearboxes that you would use in FRC. Here we have 3-sim ball shifter. Everything's kind of just already there for you to access. And you can't edit these because this is just like a view only file. But I can make a copy and then access that. So you can kind of go in, find exactly what you're looking for, and make a copy of it. Very nice, very useful. Let's get started on designing the drivetrain. So before I actually design the drivetrain, I'm going to go ahead and import all my step files. This works a little bit differently than SolidWorks. In SolidWorks, I could import my step files, and it freezes up my workflow. Where in Onshape, I can have my step files, importing directly from. I can have my step files import while I am doing other work. So I'll just kind of select all this stuff, import it. I'll import them all into one document so I have them all in one place. And the upload will, it'll take probably a couple minutes and process, but I'll have it all ready when I'm ready for it. Now I'm going to create a document. I'll call it Onshape Drive. Let me close these notifications. And Onshape is loading now, and I can go ahead and get started once it does. Okay, now before I start, you'll see at the bottom here I have a part studio and an assembly. Unlike in SolidWorks where I have to make each part in like kind of a different file, in Onshape I can make parts that are connected in one part studio, which is what I'm going to do for the chassis right now. So let's go ahead and start this timer and get started. So I'll start a sketch on the right side. Draw a rectangle. Actually, I want to put it center rectangle. Dimension it. Ooh, I accidentally clicked the line there. Let me make these planes go away. Make this 1 inch. These planes go away. Make this 2 inches. Offset. Make sure it's inside. Didn't edit that like I intended to. Let me edit it now. I'll make that 0.1 and then go ahead and extrude it. Type in the depth of 30 inches. So far, pretty similar to SolidWorks. Now I start a sketch up here. Draw my circle for my rivet hole. Dimension the circle to be 0.163 inches. Make it 1 inch from here. and I will go ahead and linear pattern it. In this direction, I'll select 30 instances. Ooh, I accidentally made that 30 inches. Let me make this go back. Okay, so linear pattern, select this. I want, right now it has 3 instances. I want 30 instances, 1 inch apart. Let me zoom out to make sure that I have the right amount of instances. Ooh. 1 inch apart, good. Let me just press. See how these ended up. Goes off the edge here. Saying, oh, I want to make this half an inch. That's why I have a little problem. There we go. And then I will extrude. And if you look up here, there are options: new, add, remove, intersect. So new would create a new part. Add would add to the existing part. Remove is what I want to do. I want to subtract through all and check. Then I've gotten rid of that. Okay. So this part is done. I'm going to find it down here, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to rename it down here into front and back rail, and I can use the same naming protocol that I used for SolidWorks 01 if I want. You kind of have to establish what you're going to do. Okay, now that that's done, I'm not going to open up a new part. I'm going to continue in the same part studio constructing my side rails. So I'll start a sketch right there, and I'll draw a rectangle. Ooh, I don't want a center rectangle, I want a regular corner rectangle. And then I'll dimension this distance to be 3 inches. Ooh, I messed up. I forgot to dimension the rectangle itself first. That should be 1 inch. This should be 3 inches. And then I will offset. .1 inches. And I will extrude. Now, if you notice, by default, it will add. So basically, it's adding on to this piece. But I actually want to make a new part. So I'm going to select new, and it's creating a new part. I'm going to extrude it 28 inches. And here we have it, a new part. And then I can actually go in to this. I can create a sketch, go up here, draw my circle, dimension it, and pattern it just like I did before. I could have also done both these patterns at once, but I kind of forgot. So this is fine, 0.5 inches. And then I'll go ahead and, oh, I accidentally exited the sketch. Linear pattern this 30 times in that direction. Change this direction to just once, just my original instance, and enter. And then I should be able to extrude. Oh, looks like I have a little problem here. Let me go back into the sketch. I think I accidentally erased my linear pattern. Linear pattern, this I want to make just one time. This I want to make 30 times. Right click to confirm, and now I should be able to extrude. I accidentally exited out of it before. So I want to remove. I don't want to create a new part. Through all, and there we go. I'm going to pause. No, this is all good. Okay, now I will sketch on here. draw my circles. Dimension this guy to be, what was it? 1.125, that's my bearing hole. And then what I'm going to do is, instead of, I can always mirror these, but I'm going to do it a little bit differently here. I'm going to draw some more circles. So I'm going to have 3 total. So these are going to be my bearing holes. I just want to showcase some of the things I can do here. So I can click on all 3. I can make them equal in size. Since I already dimensioned one, the other ones will go with it. If I hover over it, it'll show the kind of things I've already had set up. So they're equal in size. They're horizontally lined up. So I can dimension this. I know this number should be 10.5. And I know this number should also be, I'm going to put negative 10.5 because it goes the other way. Oh, I messed up. This. And do that. Slide this circle over here. And now dimension it. And I'll dimension this to be 3.5. Okay, I have my circle set up. And then I'm going to extrude them. Again, I'm just using extrude. I don't need to use extrude cut because the options come in here. New, add, remove. Remove. Through all. Okay. So far, pretty similar. Only difference, we have our parts in one spot. And I can rename this to 02 left and right rail. Now, I can also actually go through and I can assign materials to this. You can do this in SOLIDWORKS too, but it's not just like right there for you the same way. And you can find your 61 aluminum and make that aluminum. And this is nice for like part weights and overall mechanism weights. Okay. Now that I have those two set up, let me put in my back and right rail. Let me go ahead and mirror. I believe the hotkey for that is M. No, I search tools. I can just find it here. Oh, you know what? I need planes first. So put plane. Zoom in a little bit more. And then type, I want it to be mid-plane. I'll rename it this time. I'll rename it LR mid. So left, right, middle. And then I'll do another one here. Plane. So I will select halfway between here and here, mid plane, and I'll rename it front, back, mid, or Facebook mid. Okay, then I will do some mirroring with my parts. So I'll mirror. First I need to select the entity to mirror, so that's this guy. Mirror plane, I will select my left, right plane, and then it should put it on the other side. Oh, I made a little mistake when I did it. Edit. So when I mirrored it, I did add, and I really want to be new. I need a new part. Here. and then I will do the same thing the other way, mirror, because mirror lets you, you want to do new. Mirror lets you also add or remove. It lets you do this with features, not just parts. Okay, chassis done, and then I will just rename this chassis part studio. Okay, and I'll rename this one OS drive. All right, let me hop into the assembly now and insert current documents, chassis part studio. I'm just going to insert the entire part studio. I'm going to hit enter. Or else press check. And it puts the whole thing in. But things are not mated, right? Shouldn't be mated. Oh, I need to fix something. So let me fix this into place, this one. And then none of this stuff is mated, right? Because I never assigned mates to it. I just kind of put stuff together. What you can do is you can select everything and where is it? I'm a little rusty here. I'll find it. I think it's called group. There we go, group. And what group does is it will group all four of these parts together, or otherwise you can think of it as it just automatically creates all of the mates that you would need to assemble these. So I just created these parts and I didn't do any mates, and already they're mated together, which is a big plus in Onshape. Okay, now I need to go ahead and insert my gearbox. So it's not here. It'll be in other documents, my Onshape. And let me find my gearbox. And I want to make sure I have not the part studios, but the assembly itself. Oh. You know what? It probably didn't create an assembly for me when I first uploaded it, so I need to do that myself. Okay. In that case, let me do the gussets first, and then I'll deal with the gearbox next. So mate, just like you're usually used to, except it lets you do something really cool. Normally for a gusset, I'd have to do 3 mates, not with Onshape. I'm selecting this hole here, and I'm selecting. Let me select the bottom part of this actually. That's what I want to connect. The hole that's going to connect to it, and what it does is it brings it right over there, and it just connects the two. It does all the mates to connect them. I need this rotated around, so I'll just do this. I'll reorient it. That does a 90-degree rotation. Do it again, 90-degree rotation. Done. Totally made it just off of that one mate. I've mated this. It's totally fixed in place. I accidentally uploaded 2 gussets. Okay, so this is fantastic. Then I can go ahead and I can pattern this. There is no mirror pattern option, which is a little annoying, but I can do a circular pattern. I don't have a circle to work off of, which is a little annoying. Or I can just insert more of these gussets. I'll probably do that here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'll just do 5 for now, because I can actually do a linear pattern on this guy. Instances, select this guy, direction, this direction, instance count 2. I want to flip that direction. And I'm spacing these apart. Let's see, there's 3 inches on either side. The whole thing's 30 inches long, so 24 inches. Oop, too much, 23 inches, because they have some depth to them too. Okay, cool. and then I can do it underneath as well. So let me put 2 in the other side. I should put 1 on the other side, actually. Let me delete these guys. So I overthought this a little bit. That's okay. Okay, so mate. Again, I'm just going to select this little hole here. Check it. Done. All mated. Then I can go ahead and pattern this guy. I think there's a way I can do the circular pattern that would make this easier, but whatever, it's done. Select the line, indicating the direction. Oh, you know, I messed up. I didn't click on direction here. 23 inches apart. Going the wrong way. Check. Cool. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to pattern them on the bottom. So I'll select all 4 of these gussets. Direction down. Distance should be 2 inches. Depends where it measures from. And let me just make sure. No, it has some thickness to it is the problem. So it should be, I think these are 1/10 of an inch. See what that looks like. Yeah, that looks good. 2.1 inches. All right. Now I have all my gussets. Yep. Sooner or later, I'm gonna have to deal with the bearing, not the bearings, the gearboxes. So let me just take care of that now. Go to Onshape, find my gearbox, see what's going on there. Okay, this looks good. I think the problem is this stuff all fixed together? It looks good. Okay. See, reference what it's called. Okay, insert other documents. Recently opened. Let me just select this. Why is that not appearing? Oh, it appears I inserted the gearbox. And it's all weird, and I don't want that. That's why the parts libraries are useful, so I don't have to deal with this nonsense. Oh, here it is. I just didn't see it because it's so small. I think I just uploaded the gearbox on top of itself. Oh, God. Okay. Just this. How many more mistakes can I make with this? Okay, here we go. That was so silly. And I'm going to need 2, 1 for each side. Okay. Oh, I accidentally uploaded this nonsense with the... Oh, this is annoying that I did this. Almost done. Getting rid of this mistake. And that's what we talk about with growing pains. It's like I'm not as used to Onshape, so these are mistakes that I make because of my inexperience. Also, recording while I'm doing this is not the best because it's slowing down Onshape a little bit, like it slowed down on SolidWorks. But I didn't notice that I was inputting something. Nope, that's not what I want. Here, I'll hide this. That's what I should have done. Let's select all this nonsense. That took way too long for me to do. All right. Now I have my gearboxes. I can put them in place. Let me jump to the front of this guy on this view cube. All right, so I want these gearboxes in the back. I'm going to do a mate. First, I want to make sure that these are all fixed together, that they might not be. They're not, so I'll just select this gearbox and group it. And the same thing with this gearbox. Okay. All right, now let's do some mating. So this with this should just snap right into place. I just might have to rotate it a little bit is all. I selected the wrong one. Okay, so that's not what I want. I want this. Here we go. And now let me rotate and rotate. And done. Now this side, look how easy this is. This is crazy compared to SolidWorks. It's just one mate per thing, as opposed to 3 or 2. And with all the flipping for each one, here I just have to flip for one mate. That's all I have to worry about. All right. Exit this because I'm done. There are my gearboxes. Time for bearings. Bearings. Here we go. Make sure I'm clicking the right thing. Zoom in a little bit. There we go. Verify that it went in the right way. It didn't, so let me flip it around. Check. Done. Okay. Now let me pattern it. Instances. Selecting this. Direction. That way. Space between 10.5 inches. Instance count 3. Equal spacing. Oh no, I messed up. I didn't want equal spacing. All right, let me edit that. Because equal spacing meant it was 10.5 to the last one. 10.5 to the last one, it was just halfway between each of them. Okay, now that I did those, I can pattern these two. Direction this way along this line. distance. Oh no, it doesn't flip them. Can I flip them? I guess not. But I can put them on the other side here. So what I'll do is I'll select these two. And I will linear pattern them direction here. And I'll just put them at least over here. So I believe that is 25 inches, 24 inches. Let's see how that looks. Did I send them the wrong way? Where are they? Oh, they're too far. Okay. 23 inches? Yep, that looks good. Okay, so now that they're in there, I can insert the bearing here. I can do that, or I can just copy one of these. So I'll just select one of these. Copy. Yeah, the lack of a mirror is really annoying because I am so used to using them. I lean pretty heavily on it, and it really only exists within the Part Studio, which is convenient, but it doesn't make sense that it doesn't exist in the in this in the assembly. Still, though, the time saved in mates more than makes up for it. And I'm sure there's a way to do it. I just haven't learned it yet because, again, I just started using Onshape a few months ago. And SolidWorks I've been using for so many years. Oh, that's wrong. Okay, here we go. That looks much better. Linear pattern. And what I can do, because I'm clever, select these two and linear pattern them in this direction. 23 inches. Make sure they're in the right spot. Looks good. Done. All right. All my bearings are in place. Now I can do my hex shafts. Let me actually open up the hex shaft so I can shorten it because I haven't done that yet. While I'm at it, while I'm waiting for that, I can just load in my wheels. And my pulleys and stuff. I don't want recently opened. I want my Onshape. Coulson wheel. Pulley. How many wheels in assembly? Let's see here, assemblies. Here we go. See what this Omni wheel does to Onshape. It really killed SolidWorks. Not too bad. What else do I need? Hex hub. Actually, what I can do. No, I don't want to do that. That's everything. Check. And before I start playing with the hex, I will go ahead and group the Omni wheel into one spot because that's an assembly. Group. Okay, let me move this Carlson wheel out of the way. Okay, let me access that hex shaft. At this rate, it might have just been easier to make a hex shaft, but whatever. I like using the Vex one because it has like the fillets and everything on it, which is nice. I guess I could actually, I've never done this before, but you know, I'm getting cocky because I have so much extra time and I'm pretty close to done. Let me sketch on this plane, draw a circle, and just intrude as far as I want to cut away. So I want to cut away, remove 15 inches. No, 13 inches. Let me check on the direction. I'm cutting. Good. Cool. Look at that. And then I'll change the name of this to 5-inch thunder hex. Okay. Now I'll go in here, insert, other documents, recently opened, 5-inch thunder hex. That's not what I want to do. Wonder if it actually, no, it's still the 18-inch one. Because I guess I had that open before. Save this. I need to save this. Exit it. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want to, since it's a new part, I want to have it in my DriveTrain folder before I put it in there because it's not something I imported. It's something I actually edited. So I want to actually have it down here. So I'm going to paste it over. And this is a good time to show how that works. Oh, I renamed the whole thing 5-inch thunder hex. I didn't rename the part and all this stuff. 5-inch TH. And rename this 0, 3, 5-inch hex. Okay. Now what I can do is I can copy this to my clipboard and I can go here and paste tab. So the 5-inch thunder hex ends up down here. I actually don't need this one. I can leave it, it's fine. So the 5-inch thunder hex is now in the same like local area, and then I can just create a folder for this annoying step file. Steps, and just transfer it right in there. Okay, back to my DriveTrain. Insert. I didn't get too cocky there because I wasted a good amount of time on all that nonsense, but I do want to finish and show how much faster this is than SolidWorks. Okay. Now what I'll do is I will mate, and you might have been asking, well, how do you do offsets, right? Because this kind of just does when things are together. And here I need to space these two things. You know, I need this to go out this way, 3 inches. So what am I going to do? I'm going to go into here, and I'm going to select, what do I want to select? I forget how this works. All right, right here, offset. In which direction am I going? X is this way, Y is this way, Z. Z, how many inches? 3 inches. Let's see, does that work or do I have to flip it? Nope, that's perfect. Done. And then I can go ahead and linear pattern this. Actually, I want to put the one on the other side as well. So let me make a copy of this, paste it here. So I can pattern both of them simultaneously, save myself a little bit of time because I wasted a bunch being a little arrogant. Offset, Z direction, 3 inches. What does that look like? Did I send it the wrong way? I guess I did. So I can just flip. That's not what I want either. Let me just type in -3, see what that does. Good stuff? Good stuff. Okay, very cool. Then I will pattern, linear pattern, both of these guys. Direction here. Distance, 10.5 inches. Just 2, because I have the gearboxes on the other side. I want to flip the direction here. Here we go. All right. Cool. Time for the pulleys. Mate. I'll start over here at the gearbox side. Flip it because it's facing the wrong way, and then offset it by just a little bit. Okay, cool. And then what I'll do is I'll pattern this. Actually, I'll do the one on the other side first. Get rid of that pattern. So I'll make a copy. Control C, Control V. Offset by restriction -125. Okay, good. Now I will pattern these two. Oh, I didn't expect that to be covered. Select this direction. 10.5. Okay. And then I can actually pattern this onto the other side because I know how far apart they should be. Instances, direction. I want to space these. Flip this guy. This is going to be 1.25, I believe, because I did 1.25. That might not be enough. Let's see how it looks. No, I need more. 2.25. Here we go. Same thing over here. There's definitely a way I could have done these two together and save time. But again, you know, this comes with experience with the software. Okay. And select these two. Direction. 5 inches. Okay, cool. I'm not a huge fan of this spacing here. I think this should be more flush. So I'm going to make a slight change. And I believe it was this one I made far apart. So let me go to my mates. select this, right click, show mates. Okay. This one. Okay. That's the one I need to edit. Edit this distance. Not offset, just fastened. And that'll slide these out a little bit, but I can just edit them then. $11 and 10 need to be edited, so it's not 2.25, but just 2. Let's see what that does. Did that put, oh, it slid it into the bearing. That's not what I want. 2.125. Yes, perfect. Perfect? Yes, perfect. Okay. And then do the same thing on the other side. Okay. Now wheels. Flip the direction. I'll offset it by 0.125. And then I'll just make a copy of it because I don't want to do any math here to figure out how far away it should be. Okay, and now the Omni wheels, and we'll be done. All right, let's connect this guy. To that. Don't love that. I could just change it to be cylindrical. Okay, and reverse it. And then set this one and that one to be fastened. And that should work. Make it cylindrical as well, I guess. Why is this one giving me trouble now? There we go. Okay, but this might be able to pull apart. So I'm basically doing, I've turned this into a standard mate, like you're used to in SolidWorks, the way I've done it. So for something like this, I would need more mates, which is, granted, pretty annoying, but sometimes the fasten doesn't work perfectly. Planer, this. What's going on here? I wasted so much time. It's going to end up taking me just as long to do this one as it did for the other one, for the SolidWorks one. So we can do a fastened one in here. I just won't be rotated the right way inside, but they'll be fine otherwise. This will work. That's fine. Okay. Now let's put this Omni wheel in place. So mate. What do I want to do here? I guess I'll just select this as my mate connector. And this. And I'll space them out by 0.125. And then what I'll do is I'll linear pattern this and this and that direction this way and make it 10.5 inches. I actually want to add a second direction. I want more than 10.5 inches. I want 21 inches. I want second direction. Let's see if I can do this. Direction this way. I believe that's 25 inches. I think it's the wrong direction though. I put 25 instances. That's gonna kill everything. More. 27. More. 28. There we go. I can play with this number. I think this number's a little bit off. But we're done. 50 minutes. So a bit faster despite my, mess ups. But those come from an experience with this program. I've only designed like 2-3 things in Onshape, whereas with SolidWorks, I've years over years of improvement and practice. This gearbox upside down. I should fix that. But the point is, I think this is much faster. It's much more intuitive in terms of the mates. It's much more easy. It's much easier in terms of creating the parts and creating dependencies off of the parts that make sense to be built together. I just think that overall this is going to be much easier, and we'll talk about it in the conclusion. Let me fix this real quick because this is driving me. This is going to drive me crazy, and I'll show how fast you can fix something like this. Okay, show mates. This is the one I need to edit. Oh, it is fine. It was fine. Why did I think it wasn't fine? Oh, it's because they're flipped around. Okay, anyway, that's it for the Onshape portion. Now for the conclusion.